So a few of those bans we kind of predicted.
Yeah, and it's very disruptive, right? Going up against Shanks, playing the early. This time, it is his turn to perform in the early. We'll see if there's a difference in the way that Shanks takes this early. Maybe a different class, maybe a different level. But nonetheless, we expect an all-star performance from this guy.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see, but we are suspecting that anyway, right? We saw his lung pick. It was fantastic towards that late game. Ali, however, is, again, another late game hero, but I feel like she has more chance of getting caught out, depending on how your reactions are with making sure you're able to get back to that parasol. Hey, Atta coming out for the first time, so that's going to be Atta in the jungle, and then Hino in the mid lane.
I love it, all right? I haven't seen a lot of Attas in professional gameplay, let alone the ranked games, but he is a pretty sick one to play because his, defensive capabilities really strong.
Yes, very, very strong. You have to kind of build the HP, anti-HP regen, right, when you go against the Atta, because that's the whole point of his passive. But again, he also has the means of zoning out the team fights. He can put that huge boat down. He's like, hey, this is the border. You're not getting past unless you pay me your life. And I think that's the good part about the Atta, because it's going to set up those scepters from Hino, be able to lock them into place, and then Hino can just let loose with those scepters. But then you look over to the side of VP, locking in is the Consort U, and then the Byron into the top lane. So I feel like the Byron is definitely like a bit of a back to basics, but most times out of 10, Byron wins that clash lane, right?
Yeah, you know what? My main concern here is, does VP have enough damage? Consort U, of course, we all know, very great farm lane, but it takes a bit of time to get damage coming out from her, right?
It does. It does. I mean, the good thing about the Consort U in the first part of the match is obviously she has the long range poke, right? So if you can land that, obviously on the Ali, very slippery, it's going to be quite difficult to land it. But we look over to the side of Team Vitality. The Liempo does come through, and I'm just hoping somebody just reignites my faith in this Liempo pick into the support role, right? Because over the past 2 days, it wasn't looking too good for the Liempo. Even I was looking a bit tired at the Liempo pick. I was like, come on, bro. You need to make sure that it's all about the time, and it's all about making the most of that Tremor Smash, right?
Yeah, and at this point, I feel like I prefer Vitality's draft, right? I think it's a little bit more robust, a little bit easier to execute. And now there's a mechanical difficulty for playing with the sports, as I've already said. And based on how mobile Vitality is, it's going to be a very hard game for Prince.
Yes, a very, very hard game for Prince in the mid lane, right? I was a bit saying jungle, because I was looking at Prince and Vex, and it was actually in the right place this time, which is always a good thing for my mental state. But hey, we're into game 2, VP against Team Vitality. Team Vitality up by 1 point, but just by the skin of their teeth in that game 1.
Yeah, Vitality going to have a good start in the mid lane as well, but right away we see the aggressive engage in the top lane as well. City Boy, he's trying to lay the pain. Grizzly Q, first one to fall, and Vitality, they keep up the lead from game number 1.
I mean, you can't be as grizzly on a pick like the Sunbeam, right? It's quite cutesy, it does a lot of damage, but yet you can't quite control the beast that's inside like you can with the Zhang Fei. So Grizzly Q meeting a very premature demise there, but here's that poke that I was on about from the Consort U. Just able to just get those backline minions, make sure you're not at a XP deficit or gold deficit right now, but Highland playing these scepters really well. The poke's coming through very strong.
Yeah, it's a very huge peel, right? And at this point, if they allow Highland to just do whatever he wants, Prince is never going to be able to stay in lane.
No, yeah, the aggression from the Hino is huge, right? You're going to have to kind of, maybe if it gets to the point where it's a bit overwhelming for the side of VP, you're going to have to just make sure that Princess Frost is just making sure that it's a utility pick. Just giving vision to the rest of your team, and just basically being a one trick, right? Just making sure that Winter is coming and Frigid Prison hits.
Oh, Grizzly Q, he walks to his death here. Time Flux is going to be committed as well, but it's going to be Pain coming in from the side of City Boy as Vitality take 2 kills for nothing.
In the PG-friendly version, mess around and find out was the exact cause of Grizzly Q's death right there, right? He was kind of like looking into a bush as if a bear was in there. Like, do I prod it? Do I approach it? And then got beat by 3 people.
Yep, they're gonna force out the Fate Rewind from Highland, but I don't think it matters too much on the side of Vitality. The rotations will come in from the side of VP. They need to look for something. They need it now.
Yeah, City Boy going in onto Vex, cuts him off from 3-0-5, but 90 coming in here.
Yep, numbers advantage though. Is this a fight for VP? Have they found it? No, it's not. City Boy gets the kill as well. Vitality, they walk forward and they lead the charge as well on the Clash lane.
Yes, and I mean, what a more important lane, right, for 90 just to get that advantage in the lane, but hey, he's not done yet.
The flash is committed, but 90 should not survive this. Hang on, the Dew saves him. And at this point, this could be the turnaround. Vitality, they just want to push them away. It's going to be the Storm Strike. Nothing too much. Winter, what a play from her so far.
Yeah, a really good play from Winter there. It was a great engage, a great disengage for the side of Team Vitality as well to run away out of that with no deaths. And now Highland just able to keep that pressure on. Grizzly on the level 3, right? Even though they're supports, they still need those levels. Just get into that level 4 whilst Winter is already ahead with level 4, right? So got to make sure that the Grizzly doesn't fall behind and the Grizzly doesn't get taken out as easy because Vitality know that that is the whole counter-engage measure.
Yep, now this is a dream start for Vitality, right? Especially for Highland. Nobody has been able to stop him in the mid lane just yet. And he's free to roam and do whatever he wants here.
Yeah, and so far so good, right? Highland is playing this mid lane very well. The high note is super deadly against the Princess Frost. But even so, 3-0-5 is looking to try and take the one up onto 90 there. Tries to get the teleport mechanic away, but we see that Mantra's coming through. Is it going to be a trade here, Kin?
It's not going to be enough, right? So one-on-one, they take the win, so VP get a consolation prize, but they trade it out for the Tyrant. And at this point, it's still Vitality in full control.
Yeah, the Tyrant for 1 life, right? Let's see if we can see that 3-0-0-5 is able to get that top lane T1, right? That's the only way they can try and make this a little bit more worthwhile.
Yeah, Highland is just laying down the pain, right? He's peeling so much, and at this point, the farm lane one-on-ones, it's all in favor of Shanks once again.
Yeah, so a very concise trade there for the T1s into the Clash and the farm lane, but hey, get in the Tyrant and almost ahead with the goal by 1k as well, right? This is a much better footing for Team Vitality going into the 5th minute.
Yep, so 90 is the lost leader, right? They get the kill, but at this point, Ghost Ship is going to be dropped down. Vex is caught in no man's land, this time against 3 different members on the side of Vitality. We'll be using the Melody of Peace to survive that at this point. But it's the Scepters of Fate that are dealing the pain from the side of Vitality.
Yes, they are definitely dealing the fateful death on the side of Team Vitality. Highland laying these scepters down very nicely. I mean, the hit rate, right? This is what I was discussing with Holo. It's all about the hit rate with some of these heroes. And right now, Highland has definitely got a very high hit rate on these scepters. He's not missing them. Every one of them landed, and they're landing hard.
Oh, they wanted to get the Ghost Ship here. It's going to be a Fate Rewind for the side of Highland. He's fine. At this point, it's all about peeling the defenses off of Virtus Pro, and it seems to be working well in favor on the side of Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality already up by about 16.7k, and then obviously VP are at that 15.4, so a little bit of a difference. And the gold lead here, they're looking to go for their second neutral objective for Team Vitality. They do get the Overlord as well, so Vanguards will be coming through for Vitality, making it a little bit harder for VP, and you can already see that they're having not as good as a start for VP, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is where the draft really works, right? And of course, with the lead they've gotten for themselves, City Boy, at this point, 3 kills already. He is just drowning in money.
He is dripping in finesse and resources, but 3-0-0-5 coming through there with the teleport, just trying to keep it away. But City Boy waiting in the bush. Oh, he doesn't want to take the 1v1 there, even though 90 is in the very close vicinity.
Yep, they don't want it. They want to control the mid lane. They want the T1 in the mid as well. And here we go. City Boy, he's going to help out Highland for a bit, right? But the real aggression is all the way on the top. Can Max survive this 2-on-1? They will push him away. The tower is being taken at the same time. VP, they lose a T1 at the top in about a second or so.
Yeah, it's just a tricky situation to be in, right? You have a safe place, which is that T1, but then you're also being aggressed from that safe place, and they're also taking that safe place away from you. So Vitality really putting the pressure on in Game 2. They don't want to see that Game 3 go all the way to the 23-minute mark. Vitality almost got caught out.
90 makes a mistake, gets caught out, and here we go, Winter on the run as well. Right now, Highland's just trying to deter them from chasing in. But this is a huge window of opportunity for the side of VP. They need to make something happen.
Yeah, try and stop this push into the bot lane here. The Vanguard is still looking pretty active and healthy down there. So 3005 goes down to try and stop that push any further. But hey, City Boy on this adder is definitely making plays and making moves, right?
Yep. At this point, the Sea Anchor is probably going to be the win condition for him if he can get that. But at this point, he will back away. It is going to be a mid T1. And City Boy, he jumps in, catches 2 on the ghost ship as well. On the back lines, Prince is all open, but he's unable to land the stuns. 90 jumps into the fight as Vex is caught on the top of the fight, and he's going to make it out safely. Nobody dies just yet, but Vitality, they just want to push them away. Pressure averted. And Virtus Pro, they have to move back once again.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a really aggressive engage there for Team Vitality, but actually coming away with nothing makes it just seem a little bit of a walk in the park, a little bit of a splash on the beach for both of these teams, right? Just splashing each other with the water, not hurting, but Vitality may get caught out here.
Yep. I mean, Highland, right now, he is just on the cusp of being the pain on the side of VP. All of those scepters of fate are doing so much work for the side of Vitality.
Yeah, they're very surgical, right? They are hitting all the pressure points on the side of VP right now, and it's definitely something that they need to work against, right? The Sun Bin pick, I feel like, is definitely underwhelming for the side of VP going forward in this Game 2.
Okay, you know what? To add on to that, I think one of the things that they need to address is the fact that whenever Highland doesn't have that Fate Rewind, it is actually a good time for VP to find something on the map.
Yeah, you think so, right? But then this is just really showing that Team Vitality have the real presence on the Gorge in Game 2. They have the control in all these lanes so far, and the only thing that's stopping them getting even further is that T1 in the mid lane.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're trying so hard to break it, right? At this point, once again, Highland uses the Fate Rewind, but it's all a ploy. They might want to catch out Mac, but he's going to be supported by Grizzly Q at this point. Itemizations-wise, I think Highland's doing a fantastic job, right? Venomous Staff going in for the Insatiable Tomb as well. He does have it, so he's going to be a sustained monster at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage. There's the armor pen coming from the magic pen coming from the boots as well. So there's a lot of damage for Hino. And we normally see him on the tank, right? So seeing Hino build the itemizations for damage is really showing through in this fight.
Yep, they're splitting the fight. Grizzly Q caught on the backlines. Time Life's going to be dropped down, but it's not going to matter too much. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but Highland, oh no, he gets caught out. And this is the opening that VP have been searching for. They will not allow it. 90 uses the flash, but there's no more damage coming in from the side of Vitality. They have to get out. And at this point, Oak Bolt does not hit the mark. But it's a good win for the side of VP. But they you know what? They need everything they can get at this point.
Hey, opening up that T1 is pretty much everything in the mid lane, right? We saw that was the key thing for Team Vitality in Game 1. It now puts VP back on the map, and they're only behind by about 1k. And going into that 10-minute, almost 11-minute mark, Ken, is a little bit of a shaky waters, right, for Team Vitality.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a tangle, right, between these two teams at the point. VP and Vitality, they are just dancing around, and you know the lead is never more than 2,000 or 3,000 at any point of the game so far.
Yeah, at least Max learned from Grizzly Q from checking the bush with his face, right?
Oh, and right as we say that, it's going to be 3005, gets caught out. VP unable to find anything on the map. City Boy, he's looking for an opening at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a fight around the Shadow Overlord, and a lot of damage could be done, right, from Team Vitality with this Overlord.
Okay, City Boy, he finds out Grizzly Q. Here comes the kill as well. 90 gets rid of the support. It's going to be a 3-on-5 now. I don't think they can contest this at this point. Vitality take another dub in the fights.
Yes, another dub in the fight and another neutral objective for themselves. Winter now rejoins the rest of the team into the mid lane. Not much of a push going to happen here because they have the wave clear on the side of VP, and I think that's the only thing that's going really well for them here is the wave clear of the Hu Hua and the wave clear of the Princess Frost. It just enables them to kind of stop these leads that Vitality would normally have if he didn't have the likes of the Hue-1 and the Princess Frost, right? Like, they're able to mitigate and stop them straight away, which is always a good thing for you, especially when you're playing on the behind foot. Not too far behind on the back foot, but you are still playing on the behind.
Yep, I would imagine it gets a bit more frustrating for the side of Vitality, right? They've been trying so hard to break down this T1 in the mid. So far, no success just yet, right? And VP, the longer time you give them to kind of farm up, it's going to be an even tougher fight in the late game as well.
Yep, they tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, that T1 is still standing for the side of VP. And hey, they're now going ahead with the gold lead for the side of Vitality. They're 37.7k to VP's 34.6, so almost around about 4k gold difference, and that is now where Vitality want to be staying at, right? If they can stay at that 4 gold difference, okay,
yeah,
Ghost Ship comes through.
Boy, he's gonna open it up, and that's gonna be Shanks. He gets the kill here, obliges to the help of the team as well. City Boy once again. Anchor Smash going to try and get a catch onto the backlines. But at this point, they don't need to get the kills. They need the map.
Ooh.
Shadow Overlord marching or flying down on the top lane. Finally, the T1 is open for the taking on the side of Vitality.
Yeah, Vex took a little bit too much damage there, and the pressure from that clash lane means that they're able to open up that T1 in the mid lane for themselves. Winter is coming to try and stop it. Hey.
Yep, jumping in, catches one with that Tremor Smash as well, but it's all about Shanks. He gets the kill. Highland, complimentary as well. 3 down on the side of VP. This could be more. Vitality open up the map as they look for the kill. It is going to be the last standing member, Prince. He's going to be joined by 3005, who just respawned, but this T3 not going to survive for much longer, as well as the Byron. He tries, but 3005, he will make it out safely so far.
Yeah, I think that was a nice little defense there by the side of VP. It's the last thing they could really do, right, is holding on to that T3 into the farm lane, because if that falls, it's going to be a lot harder for him. Shanks is already trying to do a little bit poke here onto 3005.
But they can't do much at this point. It's going to be a kill, and it's going to be 90. He takes credit for that. T3 in the mid being pressured as well. There's a lot of pressure coming in from Vitality. All 3 lanes are being pushed in. So far, the defense is successful, but the base is really low. The turrets are really, really low at this point.
Yes, every one of the high ground turrets is pretty much holding on to its life at this moment, but all it's going to take is for Team Vitality to just reset, get a few bits of itemization, as you can kind of see here. Shanks hasn't died once. He's gone for the Shadow Ripper, Doomsday first. He has the Eternity Blade. He has the Sun Chaser, and he has the Daybreaker. He is fully stacked right now, and that's going to be hard to play against now when you're on the side of VP.
Yep, 6 slotted Shanks, not a dream at all for the side of VP as they work on that Tyrant as well. It's going to be a Shadow Tyrant in the hands of Vitality. Big moment, Winter maybe looking for that Tremor Smash. She can catch out 3. She's going to jump in as well. Going to catch out 2 at this point, but it's the 2 most important members. Grizzly Q gets taken out. Vex as well on the backline. City Boy, he's taking a lot of damage, will be shut down. And it's at this point, Mac is saving the game for the side of VP. Can they deal more damage? Highland with the Fate Rewind, they do get that successful retreat at this point, but the creeps are marching in the mid lane as well, and Vitality, they break the base, they find the chink in the armor.
Yes, they've broken the seal on the side of the VP for their base, so the crystal is wide open.
Nice jump in.
Okay,
90 gets the kill as well. Killing spree for him. He's going to trade out his life at this point. Highland, Shanks, and Winter. The 3 strong member, they will give it a try. At this point, the first life, but it's not going to be enough because it's going to be an unstoppable force from the side of Vitality. They claim the lives of VP 2-0.
Yes, much cleaner game 2 on that 3rd pick. It was before the 2nd ban phase as well. So they take out the Zhongfei, they go for the Sunbin, and when you go for Sunbin and only really have the Byron as a front line, it's hard to kind of come back from when your Byron is gone down. You kind of counting on the Hue-1 to be around you to enable to sustain, but then there's nothing really else in terms of a backbone, right? There's nothing really on the side of Virtus Pro that can fall back to, and that be their support.
Yep. You know, Vitality, just a more sensible draft coming in from the coach as well, right? Winter, she really impressed me a lot because she did so many Tremor Smashes that made life difficult for the side of Virtus Pro. And at that same time, Shanks was just having the time of his life with the farm. Take a look at the damage dealt from Shanks. 100,000 hero damage going over to the side of Virtus Pro. That's a lot of pain.
It is a lot of pain, right? Very much so. And you can kind of see here from the gold lead as well that it was always Team Vitality's game. The gold lead is way more ahead there, right at the end as well, 43.8k to 52.5, which is huge, especially when you got something like the Ali on the side of Team Vitality. And right now you'll be able to see all those setups from the Atta. City Boy really shining with this pick.
Yep, a much more convincing win, right? Coming out from the side of Team Vitality. Yes, they did have a couple of mishaps here and there. 90 here with the 1-on-1 giving his life away. But it's all for the bigger cause, right? Because end of the day, they got that Tyrant. And when you have Shanks on his A game all the way throughout the night itself so far, or throughout the day, right? It's never going to be a bad result coming out from Team Vitality.
Yeah, never a bad result, right? And they definitely played this one a lot better. They weren't able to go all the way to the 23-minute, which was a good thing for them because, again, it can be quite exhausting. They do have another series up next. They were looking for a little bit more of a surgical victory, and that's what they got.
Yeah, exactly. 90 played his role extremely well, right? Just jumping in at the correct times to get the stuns in with the truth mantra as well. And once again, I have to highlight Winter because the play she made with the Tremor Smashes always forced out the unending sorrow or forced out the melody of peace. And it was at these moments that City Boy had the freedom to really just jump onto the backlines. And Shanks, good synergy to jump in at the correct timings, get the kills as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dual tank, but then you also have the Dharma, right? Dharma was able to put a lot of pressure on there as well when the tanks were falling, but Highland definitely deserved this MVP. We already quoted it in the match. We quoted it straight as the game finished, but he was able to be the sword this time around, not the shield, and every time you enable Highland to be the carry, he will carry you to victory, and a more convincing victory as from game one, right? Game one was definitely a